checking because I don't have my mics with me. Just gonna get the A-OK and then I will go on while I try to find myself on the computer. Good morning, Sherry. Let's see here. No, thank you. Refresh. All right. Am I on? Can you hear me? Hello? Why? Why? Why, YouTube? Why? Okay, there we go. I got a commercial. So, all right. All right. Oh, shh, shh, shh. Nope, 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 nope. Can you hear my dog too? Can you hear me and can you hear my dog? Stop. Stop. Oh, my goodness. The hair is up and she's angry. Can you please? Thank you. Okay, thank you. Sorry about... Girls, hi, we're on the internet. Hey. Okay, so we're just going to pretend that they aren't here. Stop it. Now, get over here. Now. Come on. Come on. Charlie, I miss you so much. Every time somebody walks by the house, Justin has to bark too. It's so annoying. So anyway, good morning. That might happen again because if you couldn't tell, I'm home. And now Zoe is licking Roxy. She's mad about that too. Roxy's just always mad. Yes, I got new glasses. So today we're going to talk about some life updates and some changes in my world. Nothing bad. Well, except this. So I had to get new glasses because apparently I need progressive lenses. And progressive lenses are just a polite way of saying bifocals, which is just a not so polite way of saying you're old and your eyes don't work. So that's where I'm at today. So they were really expensive and I now require 2 sets of focals. It's super fun. So thank you. I'm glad that you like them. I picked them out by myself. And I don't want to be in this world, Charlie. I fought this for a long time. I picked them out all by myself, and I wasn't sure how they looked because I didn't ask anyone's opinion. And I was like, I'm just going to order them and see how this goes. So I reordered the same exact pair that I always wear, my two-tone ones. I was like, these feel safe. And then I also got these because I was like, I want something different. I don't like the nose pieces. I don't usually wear glasses that have nose pieces, but I will get over it. It's fine. They're cute. And I went to Warby Parker because our insurance covers like one place and I don't like it. And I was like, I think I need to go try somewhere new. And I did. And the first thing I got to hear was, how do you feel about needing reading glasses? Are you ready for that? And I was like, no. I'm not because I can't see distance and now I can't see up close. So, but now I feel like my grandparents because when they would go out to dinner, they would swap glasses if one of them forgot theirs. And now Eric can use mine when he needs reading glasses. So, I'm such a giver. So believe it or not, that's not what we came here to talk about. Or my dog's barking. I haven't seen you guys in 2 weeks, so I wanted to give you a little life, business, Cork, what's going on, where's Jessica been update, because Jessica's been a lot of places. So first, April was insane. April on the calendar like 2 months ago was empty. There was nothing going on. So I said, I should find more things to do in April. Excuse me. So I did. So we went to Cleveland. We had an amazing time at the show. My mom went with me to that one. You good now? Roxy's cleaning my fingers, so we're good. So we did Cleveland. We had a great time. We already are ready to go back next year. We came home Sunday. That week we prepared for the open house, which was awesome. My mom came down and helped me do a bunch of stuff, and we got unpacked quicker than we ever have before. So we did all that. Good morning, everybody. So we had our open house. And if you came to the open house, thank you so much. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for all the hugs and the gifts and all the things. It was so nice to meet some of you in person because I don't always get to do that. And it's not that I don't know, but I do forget sometimes that you see me and you have like a connection to me, but I don't necessarily know you. I haven't met you and put a name to your face. So it was really nice. There were several people that were like, hey, I follow you. I'm this person. And I was like, that's amazing. So we had such a great weekend. We were so busy on Saturday, like unbelievably busy. Sunday was also great. Eric was there helping. My friend Christy was helping. It was a fantastic weekend. I didn't get to go to the quilt show, but I heard it was great. Barb, I think, went to the quilt show. Maybe she'll chime in. I saw her on here for a second. Barb's at the shop shipping orders. I'm not there because technically I don't have a car right now. I have a car, but it's at the shop because I was too tired to drive home yesterday. So Eric drove me home. So yeah, I don't have a car at the moment. So I'm kind of stranded, and I don't really like it. I've only been home for half a day, but I don't like it. I can't go anywhere. I'm stuck, but that's okay. So that was April, which was bonkers. And then immediately following the open house, I went to Lauren's to Sew Whatever Studio in Belleville. I say St. Louis because it's technically the closest big city, but she is actually in Illinois, in Belleville. She's probably about a half hour or so from St. Louis. So I was there this past weekend teaching. Beth was there along with a bunch of other wonderful ladies. It was some of them I knew their names. Some of them were brand new for me. It was their first time. A lot of them, I think it was their first time at Lauren's studio. So that was super fun. And we will talk a little bit more about that. But what I wanted to kind of start with, not that it's a negative thing, but it's kind of like a sad thing for me. If you didn't read my post a couple weeks ago, I somehow lost access to my Facebook page. So I wanted to address that just so that you guys knew what was going on. In case you feel like I have not been around as much lately, I have, but also I have been super busy. So I lost access. I'm not an admin to my own Facebook page anymore. And sadly, there are no other admins, which is something I should have done a long time ago. So this is my warning for all of you. If you are the only admin to a Facebook page that you run, go today and add someone else as an admin. Even if they don't want any part of it, it's your mom, your dad, your sister, even if they don't plan on participating, but they will have access in case something goes wrong. You are all very lovely with all of your, sympathy and your suggestions, but unfortunately, I have scoured the internet. I have spent countless hours. Lauren was trying to help me. My mom has been trying to help me. Basically, the bottom line is we get to a certain point and then we can't go any further. They say you can recover your page if you can provide this information, and I can provide that. However, there's nowhere to provide that. So in short, Facebook sucks. I'm mad at Facebook right now, more mad than I've ever been before. The plus side is that over a year and a half ago, we transitioned to doing lives on YouTube. So because of that, I didn't have to lose that and frantically on a Friday try to tell you guys that we were switching. So that's good. The bad part is that I cannot post. I can't do anything. I can't access messages. So I've told you for a long time not to message me on Facebook, and I can't say it enough now because if you do, I can't access those messages. My automated reply is still there, but that is it. So just a thought, and I see you're an admin of several groups. Yes, so groups, the same thing. Make sure that there's more than one admin, because if something goes wrong, somebody else can help you out, and you can contact them and say, hey, add me back as an admin, because I put myself in a position where I have no one. No one else is an admin. I have admins on my group, and I still have access to the group as myself, not as So Many Creations. So I don't have access to my page, and I can't access it. So from what I have found, the only hope that I have, aside from a flat out miracle happening, is if somebody that I know or somebody that you know works for Facebook and can get me in, because the phone number that takes you to Meta, which is what Facebook is owned by, basically says, thanks for calling. Now knock it off, because we don't do things on the phone. The emails don't get answered. The messages don't get answered. I have no access. So I am reaching out to all of you. If you know someone that works at Facebook, if you want to give them a little shout on my behalf, I would be so happy for that, because I had my Facebook page for 15 years. 15 years of my work, my pictures, my everything is just floating out there. You can still look at it. The last post is Lauren's face, as ironic as that is, because I was talking about the collab that we're working on. And so my page now has Lauren's face on it. I think my face is still there, but it's not mine anymore. So will I start another Facebook page? I don't know. I don't know how that will work with tying into other things, because the group is technically owned by a page I can't access. I don't know. I'm still pretty miffed right now at Facebook for being useless. And I'm going to say that because we're on YouTube and I don't really care. I understand every one of you that wants nothing to do with Facebook and doesn't want to be on Facebook. I totally get it. Because I'm angry right now. And who leaves a page without an admin? That is a lot of words that I can't say on YouTube. So if you feel like I've been quiet, it's because I can't post on Facebook. I have been posting in, there's nobody here, stop. I've been posting in our group, and I've been posting on Instagram, and I need to get back to posting shorts and stuff on YouTube. I've just been super duper busy. So I am still here. I just have had a lot of stuff going on. And maybe to some of you, it doesn't seem like I'm not posting it a lot. Some people are like, wow, you post all the time. I feel like it's not that much, because remember, 2023, I posted for 365 days. I posted 366, I guess. No, 65, whatever. I posted every single day last year. So this year does already feel like less, but also that is why. So if you're on Instagram, you can follow me there. If you're on TikTok, I'm not as good about posting there anymore. I'm there mostly just to scroll. I will be posting in our group a little bit more. It is a pattern dedication group, so part of me feels a little guilty that I break my own rules to post things, but it's still business related. So, So that's kind of a recap on what has been going on as far as social media and me traveling. One of the other things going on, and the Patreons know this, but I have not said anything to everybody else about this. Excuse me. Mostly just because I think I've been in a daze and hoping it's actually real, and now it's really real. Eric and I are moving. We are not moving the business. We're not moving out of New York State. We're not moving anything crazy like that. We are moving above the studio. So for those of you that don't know, my house and my shop are probably about 40 minutes away. It sounds like a lot to some people, but you also have to understand travel is kind of what I do. And the reason that I was okay with having that kind of a commute is because I have an amazing studio. And if you've been there or seen the pictures, I'm sure you'd agree. I have so much space. We still have some room that we can expand as we get more product. We are slowly running out of room, but we still have a little bit left. I have a great classroom. I have a gigantic studio and office for filming. I have everything that I need there. I have a huge parking lot. So when we have events, we have no worries about parking. So I got all of the things checked off my list when we moved, which is almost 2 years now. It'll be 2 years in August. Above the studio has always been this open studio apartment. It's huge. It's not like a little one. So we have this massive apartment, and it's never been used. And it's been mine whenever I wanted it, but we just never did anything with it. So Eric and I started renovating it a little bit and at a time. This has been going on since probably February. I think when we got back from Daytona, we decided that like this is what we want to do. So we've been doing that. Floors are installed, walls are painted. Thanks to my stepdad for coming over and finishing painting, because holy moly, the ceilings in the main living area are so high, and I don't mind heights, but I was freaking myself out because I was alone painting, and I was like, these are like 16 feet high. What if I fell? So, and he paints as his retirement business. So he was like, yeah, no problem. He had it done in like 20 minutes. So it's all painted. It's ready to go. The bathroom is done. It needs a good deep cleaning, but like new vanity, new everything. And Kim, I saw your question. That is what we were doing yesterday. So Eric and I were installing our kitchen cabinets yesterday. So we were waiting for the floor to get done. Everything is painted. And so last night, Eric was over and he was supposed to be doing other things, but he was like, I want to work on the kitchen. And I was like, so do I. So we are amateurs. Please keep that in mind. Technically, we have no idea what we're doing. This will not be a business of ours. But we dismantled this kitchen because we purchased it, believe it or not, on Facebook Marketplace. Yes, I just trash talk Facebook, but I mean, still. We bought somebody's entire kitchen because they were renovating. Cabinets, countertops, appliances, the whole 9 yards, basically brand new because they changed their minds. They wanted something different, and we reaped the benefit of that. So we got an entire like kitchen in a box from this lovely couple in Connecticut who wanted to redo their kitchen, their second kitchen. Let me just say that. This was their basement extra kitchen in their second living area, because these folks are richer than I can ever imagine being. But they were like, they posted pictures. Eric saw it and immediately was like, do you like this? And I was like, that is everything I wanted. Let's get it. And we drove to Connecticut the same day, put a deposit on it, and bought it. It is a crazy story, but yeah. So we dismantled the entire kitchen, which took an entire day. It was a lot of labor. Again, we have no idea what we're doing. Were there things that probably could have been done easier? I have no idea. So this kitchen has been just waiting for a floor. Now that the floor is in, we went ahead and installed all of the lower cabinets last night, got the countertops on, started doing the uppers, and then we both got really tired, so we're gonna finish it later. But I'm getting a kitchen finally. And for any of you that have ever lived in renovation hell and in construction, you understand how much it stinks when you don't have what you want. When I have not had a complete kitchen in more years than I care to admit. I do not have countertops. I have literally pieces of plywood. We have appliances, but we haven't gotten the floors finished. Like, we've been living in this renovation nightmare for so long that it felt like it was never going to end. So now I can walk away from this, go live in a nice place, and then we'll take step 2 and figure out what we're doing with our house. But this is going to save me on a commute, on gas, on time. It means that I will have the flexibility to work whenever I want to. One of the things that I've always been jealous of Lauren about is that Lauren has an office and she has a place to film if she wants there, and she does like her monthly 1st and 15th thing, but she has a studio in her basement and she is able to film anytime she wants. The day's over, Dorothy's in bed, she can go downstairs and film. And I'm like, that you get that moment where you're like, I want to do something and you can't. I can literally walk downstairs at any moment of the day and do whatever I want. I can ship an order. I can check and see if we have a fabric. I can cut some templates. Like, I'm so over the top excited. It was just unbelievable. Do I need a black cat now? Charlie, I did get to snuggle with Ben, and I had a great time with Ben this last weekend. I will say though, I still don't think that I'm a cat person. They just do whatever they want, and I already have a husband and 2 dogs that do whatever they want, so I don't know if I need someone that's more trainable. So I don't think that we will be getting a cat anytime soon, although Ben is about the same size as my dogs, and I don't know what they would do with that, so that would be pretty entertaining. So yeah, so that's another reason why I've been a little bit quiet, because in between traveling and open houses and getting patterns done and virtual retreats and all the regular day-to-day stuff, printing patterns, which I'm now printing on my own because that was a whole disaster that happened earlier this year and the company I used is not in business anymore. Now on top of all of that, home renovations. We're adding that onto the list. So, but it's been great so far. And once the kitchen is done, the living room's ready to go. We just have to like maybe put some furniture together and then like start moving personal things in. So we're not like completely like building from scratch. The kitchen was the most labor intensive thing. So that's why I have been busy. Trust me, I've been busy. The Patreons have gotten many updates of how insanely busy I've been, but I haven't been super present for all of you, and I wanted you to know why. So let me just scroll really quick and see if there's any questions, and then we're going to talk about a Cork update and also my class this last weekend. Oh, yes, Linda, if gutting and redoing your kitchen, you understand. Because I will never live in a place where I am renovating ever again. Like, I can't, this is a nightmare. This is a true test to see if your marriage is built to last. We are still married. I do not have my wedding band on. There will be a troll somewhere along the way that mentions that. I am still happily married, even through kitchen renovations. I'm just going to work later and I don't want to put my rings on because I'll forget. So, people are so bizarre with the things that they notice and the things they don't notice. And every time I don't have my wedding band on, somebody makes a comment about it, and I find it to be extremely bizarre. And I don't just mean here. I mean on my husband's end too. People at his job will comment that they noticed I didn't have my ring on. And I'm like, Eric hasn't worn a ring in like 19 years, 17. I don't even know how long we've been married. He's never worn his wedding band past the day we got married. And I just don't have mine on because they're clunky and I don't want to ruin them. I ruined my shirt yesterday putting granite countertops on because I got my shirt stuck underneath the countertop, which then of course made me laugh hysterically, which is not a good time to be laughing when you're trying to lay granite countertops down. But I ripped one of my favorite shirts and I'm kind of still bummed about that. Okay, so Linda, okay, I have to talk about this really because this is really funny. Linda said, my husband and I do not work well together. That is a normal, everyday problem for married couples, I find. And I thought it was us because we get along great. We have a great relationship. Eric helps me with my business. Like, you know, we're working on stuff together. When it comes to home renovations or anything involving power tools, if your marriage is not strong, that will end you. And I will say, last night, we did the kitchen, 0 arguments. Eric made fun of me several times because I am weak, but that is fine. I had to hold the upper cabinets up while he screwed them in. It only took one to realize that I should have taken the doors off. Always take the doors off. So I'm holding, because he's like, hold the doors. And then he's making fun of me and saying that I need to spread my wings because I'm holding them like this. And I was like, I can't hold a cabinet like this, you dingleberry. So yeah, we've had our ups and downs as far as renovations and tools, but yesterday was a dream. If you came to the open house and noticed the black and blue arms that I had, that is from us moving a refrigerator. No, he didn't do that to me, but that's because our communication is not always great when we're moving things. But we lived and we're good. So, Charlie, Eric is allowed in the kitchen, and if you come over, you're allowed in my kitchen. I will let you in. The power tools belong to both of us, Kim, so I do have my own power tools. I'm not as useless and girlish as I seem, but I am also still learning a lot of things. I do own power tools, though, because I kind of like them. It makes me feel empowered and, you know, fun. I just love having things. The shirt, I didn't know we were doing the kitchen yesterday, or I wouldn't have worn one of my favorite t-shirts, but my shirt was loose in the front, and when we put the counter down, my shirt got stuck underneath it. How? I have no idea. These are the things that happened to me and to literally no one else. And my shirt was stuck. I couldn't get out from underneath. And instead of waiting for Eric, I pulled it and ripped a big hole in my shirt. And then we still had to lift the counter because my shirt was hanging underneath the counter. So, but we had a good time, and he did get a laugh out of that one too. So, Amber, I could not relate to you more. You live in an efficiency apartment. You don't have a kitchen, just the basics. I have a refrigerator, a stove, a microwave, and a toaster oven. We can't use the refrigerator we can use it. We can't use the microwave and the toaster oven at the same time because we have one outlet and they run on the same one. So if you forget, or if somebody is here that doesn't know, it pops the breaker. And then you have to go down in the creepy basement and flip it. Yeah. Our refrigerator is so old, they don't even make that style anymore. And it's not vintage old, it's just like crappy old. Our stove is uneven because the floor is not done. So when you're cooking, everything rolls to the back of the pan. It's a great, great time cooking in this kitchen. I don't even like to cook, and I can't wait to cook when we move. I'm excited to bake, but I'm actually excited to make dinner because just to have counters. I even got an island. I wanted an island for so long, and I only got it because it came with this whole package. But last night when we put that down, I was like, oh, I have all this room. And then Eric's looking at me and he goes, are you good? And I was like, I'm gonna cry right now because I'm so overwhelmed and happy. But I will cry again later too. Don't worry. I'm gonna cry a lot. It's just the way that it goes. Charlie, you kill me. Beth, get an island. They're amazing. I'm so happy. Of course, as we're installing this kitchen, Eric looks at me and says, you know, one of those dumb things that husbands say that I'm like, let's not. He goes, wow, we probably could have done this in the house years ago. And I was like, that's not nice to say. Let's, mm-mm. So this morning I ordered a whole bunch of kitchen things, and my mom bought me early birthday presents. So I'm just excited for all this stuff to come in and unpack it. So that's where I'm at. So, okay. That I'm very, very excited, but also extremely overwhelmed at this moment. So let's go back to business, because most of you are probably not here to talk about me moving and my kitchen. But if you want to see pictures, I'll post them. So, next up, the next thing I wanted to talk about is Cork, because I know that a lot of you have been waiting patiently for restocks. Most of you have been unbelievably amazing in waiting for restocks, and I know that some of them have been going on for a while now. So I mentioned this the last time I was here. I'm going to explain it again. Why has stuff been out of stock for so long? I've had Cork paid for and waiting for well over a month now, like a month and a half, going on 2 months. The reason it hasn't shipped, first problem we ran into, the manufacturer ran out of the base product. So they didn't have what they needed to be able to print. So while they were waiting for that to come in, they sent everything that they could. I restocked what I could. In the meantime, they were also waiting for some of the solid colors to come in. So it was a waiting game. While all this was happening, the printer broke. The printer was not printing to their quality standards or to our quality standards. And so once this was explained to me, I was like, I understand, because I don't want subpar Cork. I don't want to get something in that doesn't look good, because that's not fair to you and it's not fair to me. So I appreciated that they put that on hold. They had to fix the printer. That kind of dragged on for a little bit. In between that, there were holidays, and Portugal, just like many other countries, not here, they will close they close a lot for holidays, more than we do. We get a handful of them a year. They have a lot more, and they will sometimes close for like a solid week or two. They had a few holidays that fell in the mix. So by the time the printer got fixed, the holidays were over, the back ordered stuff came in. Now all the orders are getting pushed back. Everything is getting, like, everything's out of whack because everything's backed up. I'm not their only customer. I'm not there. I wasn't number one on the list. So I had to wait. So literally before I signed on to come on live, I got an email with a FedEx tracking number. We have several rolls on the way to us. We still have a lot that's not on the way to us. We've still been waiting for more, but it's coming. And if you have had enough of me saying that, and you have something on back order and you don't want to wait for it, or you need something else in the order, or you just want to talk, just send me an email. I am happy to refund you if that is the best solution for you. This is not about me, it's about you. And if you have been like, I've been waiting long enough, I've been patient, but I really just don't want to wait anymore, I'll find something else, we can discuss that, and I will give you a refund happily, no questions asked. I hate when we have this many back orders, but unfortunately it's for a lot of the same corks. So I actually doubled my order for all of those in the meantime. I was like, hey, since you haven't printed them, print me double, because the longer I wait, the more back orders I get for the same things. So we are hoping to start shipping some cork out next week, possibly the week after. More stuff is being printed. In the meantime, they are working on a massive, massive order for the collaboration that I'm doing with Lauren, as I told you guys about and showed you a picture. We have a collaboration coming out towards the end of the summer, to be determined as far as the date. So that is a huge chunk of cork that they also have in the queue. So that's going to take a little time. And Eric is designing some of his own corks. And this is all stuff I mentioned a couple weeks ago. I know not everybody is always around, or maybe you forgot. I feel like I haven't been here in like 7 months. But there's a whole lot of stuff basically on the queue for us. We're just waiting patiently for samples and for things to arrive. In the meantime, we finally got our May Cork Club order because it's the 10th. So Eric is cutting that today, tomorrow, getting that ready so May Cork Club can go out. It's just been, I feel like everybody around me has been 3 steps behind lately. And so if you are, welcome. Welcome to our dysfunctional club. But we are getting stuff done. I'm just trying to be as patient as I possibly can. We got a massive order of waterproof canvas in. Eric got all that out. I showed you the new colors. We have some new cork on that list at this point, because the email this morning, the last email was, did I forget anything? How does all this look? Like, here's what's in your order. And I was like, at this point, I have lost track completely of what I have ordered, what I haven't received. I have no idea. Like, just send me everything, and when I realize I need something else, I'll just order it again, because we have had pending orders for so long. There's like 2 or 3 in the back of my mind. Other than that, I'm like, did I order that? I think I ordered that. I'll find out if I ordered it. So that's where we're at. Please don't hesitate, if you have a question, to just send me an email. I'm happy to talk about it. I'm happy to refund you. I'm happy to tell you whatever is going on. I'm very transparent. I just don't want you to think that I'm just, oh, it's coming, it's coming. No, it really genuinely is. I could show you the tracking number. Like, it's literally in my email. I've just been waiting. That's kind of where I am. Oh, good morning, Kathy. So let's see. Ooh, you have an island on wheels. That sounds great. So training at work. We don't do training. We just wing it. So that's kind of the recap on that. Also in the meantime, thanks to Sue Smith, because I didn't even notice with all of this stuff going on, we hit 27,000 on YouTube, which is unbelievable. Thank you to all of you. That's because of you. I didn't subscribe 27,000 times. You guys did. And I didn't even notice it. As much as I pay attention to all of those things and see what's going on, I missed it because I was super busy getting ready for all of the stuff I had going on. And Sue Smith announced it in the group and was like, hey, congratulations. And I was like, I didn't even know that happened. So you guys are always super helpful in keeping me in check, and I appreciate that. So I'm going to wrap it up with my trip, and part of my trip that didn't end up happening. And then if you have questions, that's what we're here for. So Rome shuts down for holiday in October. I wish that we could shut down for like a whole month and the whole country shut down and we could all just like regroup and not have to worry about anything. But that's not how it works over here, unfortunately. So thank you, Kim. Yes, hit the like button. And if you're not subscribing, subscribe, because I'm going to do a happy dance when I hit 30,000, and maybe I'll do a schmiveaway, the word that we can't say on here because the trolls come. Coffee. Okay, so my trip, where I just got back from, and what I have coming up. So on, what day did I get back? Late Tuesday, very late Tuesday, I got home from Lauren's in Belleville, St. Louis. If I say St. Louis, that's what I mean. So I was out there. I got there on Friday. I got to stay with Lauren, which was so awesome because we never have a moment to actually talk when it's not work related and when we're not on a schedule. So from the time I got there Friday night and then after class on Saturday and Sunday, we got to chat and just have one of those, nice conversations that you can't do when you're at a show. Our friend Kathy was there on Saturday night, so we all just kind of had, just a nice girl time. So I got there on Friday, got myself set up. One thing that I love teaching at her shop, and it was my first time teaching, but I knew this going in, she has no issues with you, the teacher, me, bringing things to sell. And so I was able to bring cork and templates and all of that, and we didn't have to do all this, I'll put it in inventory, I'll invoice you, blah, blah, blah. I understand when people are running shops, that's what they're there for. They have to make money. Lauren's there for the same reason. But because she's a different kind of shop, and because she's not like open 7 days a week and trying to do things, in the quote unquote norm, like the typical way, she's like, bring whatever you want, sell whatever you want, they can pay you directly for it. And so it gives the teacher kind of an extra opportunity to make money, and but also to bring product and show people the other things that you do, the things that you do aside from whatever class you're teaching. So she had some shelves out, so we got them all set up. They look so cute. I brought samples, I brought a whole bunch of things, and she even invited shoppers like locally if they wanted to stop by and shop, and a few people came by. So I got to meet even more people than were in my class. Our first day, we had 8 people on the first day, excuse me, and we did the Julia. So I had planned that we would work all day Saturday on the Julia. Anybody that needed a few extra minutes, had a few finishing steps, we could finish on Sunday, and then we'd start working on the poppy. Well, they blew me away in a way that a class has never done before. Every single one of them was like on the same page. They were keeping pace with each other, which never happens, ever. And if you've ever taught a class, you know that this never happens. It's not even something that I aspire to happen, because it just doesn't happen. They were all keeping up with each other. They were all, if somebody got done and I would go over, and what I normally do, I'm like, okay, let me give you your next step. They're like, no, I'm good. I'm good to sit for a minute. Everybody was comfortable with the machines. Everybody was like just happy and just having a great time. Nobody was afraid of the machine. We had one lady, as sweet as can be, Donna, who came in and was like, oh my God, I'm overwhelmed. I don't know if I can do this. And she did amazing. And then showed me the things that she makes. And I was like, you thought you couldn't do this, really? But they were just absolutely sweet. I got hugs from everybody. Everybody was just like, this is how I know you. This is where I met you. Like, it was just such a wonderful class. Beth was there. And of course, Beth, I know better than the rest of the group because she's been in my virtuals. I've met her husband. Cindy was there. Cindy, I got to know in St. Louis, actually in St. Louis at So Badgical last year. Everybody was just so friendly, so happy, so amazing. We had people from Illinois, California, Wisconsin, like we had people from all over the place. And the way that the classroom is set up, which this is very out of the norm for me too, is that if I wanted to, I could sit at a machine and I can have a camera over me and I can sew and you can watch me sew. But that is so not normal for me that I actually chose not to, because I am a very loud person. I don't require a microphone. In fact, I discourage you from giving me one. I like to walk around, see what everyone's doing. If I'm looking down, I can't see what's going on behind me, and I don't want you to look at the back of my head all day. So I love that that's an option. If there's something difficult that would be easy to say, like, here, watch me do it. But I didn't want to do it for the whole class. So I did my normal walk around, see what everyone's doing, borrow your piece for the next step, which is something I'm notorious for. I walk away with it. You don't know where it is. It's a thing I do. But everybody on Saturday finished their Julia bags before 4:00. Like, I think around 3, everybody was done. So they had an extra hour to go shop, have a snack, do whatever. We even sat down and had lunch. Lauren cooked for us, and then also had part of it catered. So, just to make it more personal, she made delicious soup for us. And then on Sunday, she made pulled pork. Lauren's an excellent cook, so it was fantastic. And then Sunday, we worked on the poppy, and we kind of took our time. We didn't have to rush. Everybody was, again, keeping on pace. Sue actually made 2 wallets. She got done and she was like, if we're still here, I'm going to sew another one. So she bought cork, cut it out, made 2. So she went home with 3 projects. We had time for shopping, time for questions, time for chatting. It was one of the most relaxed, comfortable, happiest classes I have ever had in my life. And I have taught 40 people at a time. I have taught at shows, and I have a great time at all of my classes. I always have a fantastic time with my students. But what I was saying to them is that sometimes when you're in these 20, 30, 40 people classes, well, I mean, all the time, I'll be honest, I don't know what your names are. I'm terrible with names. And when there's that many faces, I can't remember. I can't absorb everybody's name and face. Most people understand that and will say, "This is how I met you." And it's okay that you don't remember my name because I want to place you, but I can't always do it there. I can tell you everybody's name in that classroom, where they sat. I can tell you what color they made their bag out of. It was so much fun. I did bring the pre-cut kits, so we didn't have to do any cutting. Like any trimming we did was minimal. It was such a fun time. So like I said, after that, I would, go back. We'd have dinner. I got to hang out with Dorothy. We made cookies together, which made me really long for a kitchen because I was standing there like, oh, this is so nice. So hi, Sue. Sue from California, who made 2 wallets and a bag. But it was just the whole vibe of the weekend was just so chill and happy, and it was like exactly what I needed and exactly what I wanted. And I don't think a single person there left unhappy. And if they did, I couldn't tell because they were all having a great time. Kathy, who is here, was here. I'm not sure if she's still here at the moment. She is the hospitality specialist. So Lauren has a separate person aside from herself that is there to help you with machines, bobbins, all that kind of stuff, so that it's okay that you don't know how to use an industrial. A couple of people in the room had them and knew how to use them. Some people, like Beth, had not used an industrial and now wants an industrial, right, Beth? And so it's just such a cool experience that I can't talk, I can't say anything more about it, that like it's just so positive. If you've never sewn an industrial, there's nothing to be nervous about because you have plenty of people there to help you out with it. It's just a fast straight stitch machine. Kathy even got to sew herself and finish her projects, which doesn't normally happen for her because, she's there helping out. But everybody was so self sufficient that aside from putting on a few spools of thread and helping with some bobbins, it was unbelievable. And Beth, you said it absolutely best. It was hard to say goodbye. It was hard to say goodbye that day, but it was even harder the next day. So Lauren and I stayed up really late Sunday night, which is not something I normally do. And we stayed up just like chatting about anything and everything, that just like finally catching up when we didn't have anything else to do. And so we were up so late. So I just, we got up in the morning, did our thing. She had a live with Nicole. So she was going to the shop, brought me over to get my car, and it was the hardest thing to like leave. I was like, I don't want to leave. Like, I didn't want to walk out of that classroom and I didn't want to walk out of that building. I was just having such an incredible time. And when you're that happy, it's hard to just be like, okay, I'm leaving. See you later. And we don't know when we're going to see each other again. Some of us don't know when we're going to see each other again. So that's always hard because we don't have anything solidified right now. So, it was a little sad. But I drove home. I did it. I listened to a few books. I'll give you some names of those if you want them. And next, I was supposed to go to Paducah. I had Tuesday, Wednesday, I was supposed to have classes. Unfortunately, we had a bunch of last minute cancellations. And so it was best for both of us to cancel the class, which we did at the very last minute. So unfortunately, I did not go to Paducah. I did not get a chance to visit my friend Cassie. I will be back. 100% I will be back, not an issue. It wasn't a good weekend. I didn't know that there was a graduation. Like it's because I don't have children. I'm not in college. I don't know a lot of these things. I don't pay attention. Lauren had mentioned that it was graduation weekend, and I think that was also the part of the problem Cassie was having. So unfortunately, my trip got cut short, but that just means I got to come home, and I'm not gonna say I was on vacation this week. I've been working, but I've been working a little slower. I've been kind of on slower mode. Yesterday, before we worked on the kitchen, I redid all of these shelves that hold my acrylic. I organized everything because it's been bugging me. It's been bugging me for over a year now. Those are the things that I never make time for, and I finally did this week, and I feel like, like it feels like I could take a breath. So, um, yes, moving is going to be a pain. However, I think the worst part of moving is all the big things, like the things that are hard to move on your own that take up like truckloads and big things. We're not moving a lot of that stuff because we got new living room furniture. We're going to get a new bed because I'm looking at this bed going, there's no way I'm dragging that king size mattress out this house. It'll stay here because we will still have access to this house until we decide if we're selling, what we're doing with it, whatever. So we're getting some new things, then we just have them delivered. And all the little things, I'm just going to do one room at a time. That's what I've decided. Instead of overwhelming myself, I'm going to start in the kitchen, work my way back, and probably the last thing I'll move is my clothes, which will probably be the biggest nightmare and headache. But it'll happen. It'll happen. I'm not in a rush. We don't have to leave our house. We're not in a situation where we have like a time frame. The apartment upstairs is already ours. So I can do it whenever I want. I can move everything this weekend or I can move it in August. It does not matter at all. It's just more me that wants to get it done. But you know, I'm trying not to rush because I don't want to be exhausted. I do still have a business to run. I do still have to make money to pay my bills. So, you know, there's that. See, and Zena, that's it. You're organizing your fabric. It is overwhelming, but it's also like, I'm kind of excited. Over here where my sewing machine is, there are bins that have been under these tables for so long that I don't even know what's in them. So there may be things thrown out, donated. There may be like treasures that I have not seen in years. So it will be overwhelming, but also like, oh, wow, I didn't know I still had that. Yes, moving my clothes will be a great time to donate clothes, 100%. So if you have any other questions for me, now is your time because I'm going to wrap this up in a minute. But I want to give you 2 more audiobooks that I listen to because I always do that when I drive, and you guys seem to like it. Some of you have similar taste to me. So I wanted to tell you what I read, listened to, however you want to do it. You can read it. I don't have time to read. It makes me fall asleep. But in the car, it kind of just makes the time go by. So I listened to Local Woman Missing by Mary Kubica with a K. I listen on Audible and sometimes on Spotify. This book was my ride home book. And when I got home, I still had like an hour and I had to listen to it. I listen to thrillers, mysteries, twisty, turny kind of things like that. This one, what was interesting about this book, it was present day and then also 11 years ago. So the events that led up to what's happening in present day started 11 years ago. And so they would go back and forth from a few different perspectives. There were a few different characters giving their perspectives of everything going on, which was super interesting. 11 years ago, basically, a local woman went missing and also some other people went missing. And then in present day, we kind of find out what happens to these people, but not all of them. And so it was like kind of going back and forth. And it was one of those books that as you got to like that last hour and a half, you're like, but tell me more. And I'm driving in the car going, what? Like, I look like a crazy person, but it was such an interesting book. It kept me locked in the entire time. I absolutely loved it. I did not see the ending coming, so this one really threw me for a loop, but very well done. Good narrators if you listen on Audible. If you want to read it, narrate in your head. What was the name of the other book? I always forget. I should know because I was waiting forever for this book to happen. Where did you go? That's the wrong. Home is Where the Bodies Are. So I had mentioned a few trips ago, I love Geneva Rose, and Geneva is spelled with a J. Geneva Rose is a thriller author. I read 2 of her books a little while ago, love them. Did not predict the endings to those books at all. They absolutely blew my mind. This one, I will say, I waited because as soon as she mentioned this book, I was like, I have to get this book. And it's basically about a family of siblings coming home. Their mother has passed away, and finding out family secrets via VHS tapes. So it was very interesting because they were going back when they were watching these tapes to like the 90s, and the things they were saying and the way that like they were describing their clothing and stuff. I was like, oh my God, this is so reminiscent for me. Super great book. Loved it. Loved the narrator. My only, and it's that much, I actually predicted the ending, which I've never done with one of her books. I was a little surprised by myself. I'm not going to say I predicted it from the start, but as I was getting into the book, I was like, I know what's going on. I have a feeling. Still had some twists and turns that I didn't see coming, but I did find this one a smidge more predictable. But I still love her. I still love her books. I did start another one of her books, and it was just a little too slow for me. So I lost about 3 hours. I'll probably go back to it, but it just wasn't, I think I was too tired and it just wasn't fast paced enough for me. So I put one of her books on hold, and then that's when I got the other one. So that is what I love about driving by myself, because I will just get an entire book done in one driving session, and then I can start on another one. I do want to start listening to audiobooks while I'm working. A lot of you mentioned that you do that. And because I usually do all at once, like 8 to 10 hours of a book, I'm thinking to myself, well, why would I want to listen to an hour or two of a book and not finish it the same day? And then I remembered that normal people pick up a physical book, read a few chapters, and put it down, and they don't read the entire book in one day. But I forget that because I listen to books and I don't read them. So that's where I'm at in my life. Progressive lenses, figuring out how to read. So that's my life. Yes, a lot of people, Zena, have said that they download books from the library. I just have not jumped on that yet because I've had Audible for so long that it's just it's kind of second nature. But Spotify also has books, which I did not realize until recently. And I was like, oh, I have a Spotify account and I can get books too. So very excited about that. So I think that's everything that I wanted to tell you. Oh, I don't know if I'm going to be here or not next Friday. The reason is, my mom and I are going to visit my sister for her birthday. My sister's turning 25, which just does not seem right. I feel like that's not fair. I don't want to be 25 again, but I can't believe my little sister's turning 25. So my mom and I are going down. I don't know what we have planned on Friday, so I don't want to tell you we'll be here if I'm not. So plan on me not being here next week. But if I have a free moment and we're not doing anything and something exciting happens in the next week, I will jump on. Chances are I will not. So I didn't mean to get into this every other week thing, but it's just kind of the way that it's been lately. So you probably will not see me next week. Beth, where do we go for the link for the collaboration? Okay, so real quick, the collab between Lauren and I, on her Facebook page, on So Whatever, if you search her name in the search bar in the So Whatever group, not page, sorry, group, you can find the Google Sheet. Again, it's not a commitment, it's just asking, are you interested? Here's the estimated time frame, price, and also if you were to buy it, what weight thread would you want? If you want to fill that out, that would be great. If you aren't on Facebook, if you email Lauren and ask her, you can do that. Or if you're on Instagram, she did mention it last week or the week before, and you can get the information from Instagram. But literally, she's just saying, hey, are you interested? We're just trying to make sure we have enough boxes for everybody. And also, there will be a custom thread. That's all I'm telling you. And do you want it for a domestic or an industrial? That's really all that there is to it. So, Charlie, I feel you. I'm having an every other week sort of life right at the moment. I'm excited to go hang out with my family, but also, like I said to Eric, I said, he goes, are you mine this weekend? And I was like, I'm all yours this weekend. We can do anything that you want to do. We're good. And I said, I am leaving on Thursday, not this week, next week, to go to my sister's. And he goes, did I know this? Did I forget? And I said, you did, but also my life is hectic. And how can you keep up with my schedule, especially when you don't have to go? So he's like, okay, all right, no problem. So Eric doesn't even know what I'm doing. So why would I think that any of you would? Thank you, Shelly. I am very excited. My sister has a list of things that she wants us to do. There was mention of going to a lake. There was mention of line dancing. There was cake and dessert mentioned. I'm on board with all of these. I don't know what to even think. Um, Zoe is upside down right now asking for belly rubs. So I think she's telling me to shut up. It's time to end for the day. Zoe has actually been nice to me lately, so I'm taking it as I can get it because it doesn't always happen. So if you have questions for me, email me because there's literally no other way to get a hold of me now. And if you know someone that works at Facebook, send them an email on my behalf. Just tell them I'd love to be the admin of my own page again. And if you don't, that's okay. We'll move on. It's totally fine. So I will update you all when Cork comes in, and I will keep you in the loop for all of the other things we have going on. And I will see you guys in a couple weeks. All right? Bye, everybody.